everyone. It's Glenbard football on Group W. This afternoon, it's the Hilltoppers of Glenbard West going against the Dukes of York High School from Elmhurst, Illinois. York Dukes you saw here on Glenbard football, the opening game of the season, taking on the Glenbard South Raiders, a game that the Dukes won over the Raiders. We have a day that is overcast. It's on the cool side, high temperature, probably somewhere in the category of about 65 degrees or so. We have some drizzle falling right now. It should be interesting to see how the day develops. As far as the football teams are concerned, we're looking at two undefeated, untied teams in the contest today. Both teams enter the game at 3-0 for the season overall, and both are at 1-0 in the West Suburban Conference. They're tied on top of the West Suburban Conference with Oak Park and Proviso West. The Hilltoppers of Glenbard West coming off an impressive victory last week over the Proviso East Pirates, 20-6. York, meanwhile, last Saturday was defeating Lyons Township 35-28 is the final in that one. Should be an interesting game today. Glenbard West, a very balanced football team. A good mix of pass and run in their offense. An offense that's quite potent. Opposing that, an offense from York High School that perhaps leans a little bit more toward the passing game under the direction of quarterback Bill Leck. We'll have to watch how that develops. Leck has some great receivers. In his fullback, Jim Nutoff. His halfback is Mark Hine. Tight end Greg Fisher did a great job in that Glenbard South game. Being introduced right now, the starting lineups for the Hilltoppers of Glenbard West. This is Group W Glenbard football. And taking a look at the starting offensive lineup for Glenbard West, starting at one end will be number 88, Chad Elkhorn. At the tackle will be number 72, Tom Gilardi. At the guard on the right side is number 65, Eric Jensen. The center of the line anchored by big Dave Howe, number 52. The other guard is number 63, Chris Larson. The tackle, number 71, Ed Faulkner. Number 81, the end, John Nordmeyer. The quarterback is Scotty Plants. He's backed by Scotty Ellinger and Dave Svengros, and the wingback is Pat Doyle. Opposing them as far as the defense is concerned for York, the defensive ends in the 4-3 that the York Dukes show. Louis Pahapos will be at one of the ends. The tackles are number 99 and number 95, Kevin Brophy and Lou Bastian. The other defensive end is Tom Homan. The linebacking core, the three good ones, number 35, Jim Nutoff, number 36, Paul Burbalos, and number 21, Teddy Harris. The cornerbacks are Perry Peacock and Rick Pollock, and the safeties are Mark Hine and Greg Fisher. So that's how offense meets defense in the opening moments before the game. York won the toss. They elected to receive the ball, so it'll be Glenbard West kicking off from our right to our left, defending the right-hand goal, the right side goal on your screen, to York coming from left to right. The Hilltoppers in their home with dark green jerseys, white numerals, and white pants, opposing the Dukes, interestingly enough, also in green and white today, except white road jerseys with green numerals. And it should be an interesting afternoon of football. The Glenbard West offense has scored 55 points so far this season, averaging 18.3 per game, with the Glenbard West defense doing a very stingy job of allowing 23 points for a total of 7.6. There's a very good separation there. The ratio is extremely good as far as the hitters of Glenbard West are concerned. And now we're ready to start football. And kicking off for Glenbard West is number 50, Joe Veruno. The ball is in the air, comes back to Nutoff, who takes the ball at the 10, 15, 20, 25, gets outside around the 25 to the 30, where he's forced out of bounds. Tackle made there by number 65, Glenbard West, Eric Jensen. Eric plays guard in this offensive line for the Hilltoppers.
10 for the Dukes from their own 30-yard line.
Now we get to look at this York offense going up against the Glenbard West defense, which, as I said, has allowed only 23 points on the season, an average of 7.6 per game. They allow 442 yards and 116 yards rushing. Svek, the quarterback. Leck drops back to pass, sets up, downfield, almost intercepted by the defender back there for Glenbard West, number 22, Andy Durant.
Pass incomplete. Broken up by Andy Durant.
And it looked like Fisher was the intended receiver for York. Fisher's the man we'll have to watch on the outside. He seems to be Leck's favorite target. Coming out of the backfield, however, look for Nudoff and Mark Hine. Makes it second down 10 for York. In motion, Mark Hine. Hand off to Nudoff. Hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down. Tackle goes to number 73, Ron Kreck. Brings up a third down, and we'll call it 11. A loss of a yard on the play as this series started at the 31. Fisher out of the game for York. Flanker is number 89, Mike Grant. Leck brings him to the line again with a third and long. Too much time. 5-yard penalty. He'll bring up a third down, call it 16 to go for York High School. Delay of game against York. They didn't quite get that penalty off. They were shuttling some people in and out, trying to get started in that huddle. And now they'll go back. Ball moves all the way back to the 25-yard line. And as we said, third down, call it 16. Third and 16 for York. Opening minutes of the game, 11:08 left in the first quarter. No score in the contest yet. Hitters ranked 5th in the state in the Class 5A latest poll. Trying to uphold that ranking today. Leck back to pass. Out in the flat for Nudoff. A little over his head. Incomplete. Bring up fourth down. And we anticipate the punt from York.
To be 4th and 16.
Dropping back to receive the punt for Glenbard West is number 24, Pat Doyle, and number 22, Andy Durant. And the Hilltoppers look to get excellent field position out of this first series of plays.
Durant, Pat Doyle deep for Glenbard.
Punt is in the air. It's coming down to Doyle, backs up to his own 40, cuts outside to the 45, to midfield where he's brought down by Hine.
Pat Doyle on the return, brought down by Mark Hine.
And Rich
Looks like
Fowler.
it'll be 1st and 10 for
First and 10, hitters at the 50. To bring out that offense, this very potent offense of the Glenbard West Hilltoppers, led by quarterback Scott Plants, backed by Scott Ellinger at one of the half spots. Fullback is number 32, Dave Svengros, and the wingback is Pat Doyle. You see him in the slot, hand off, second back through the hole. That's Svengros with the ball, picks up 3 or 4 yards on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 6 for Glenbard West. Tackle on the play made by number 95 from York. That's defensive tackle Lou Bastian. Big Dave Howe centering the middle of that Glenbard West line. Plants hands to Svengros again. It's Ellinger this time with the ball. Brought down by Hine and by Lou Bastian again on that far side, near side rather. Small pickup on the gain. Ball is at the 46-yard line. They have to get the ball just across the 40 to close to the 39-yard line for a first down. Brings up a third down, and we'll call it a long 6 for Glenbard West. Plants back to pass, pitches just over the line. Svengros has the ball, 35, 30, and wrestled down near the 25-yard line. Looks to be about the 27. First down, Glenbard West. Scott Plants, one of the leaders as far as quarterbacks are concerned in the area, with 18 of 39 on the season. Only 2 interceptions so far for a total of 281 yards and 4 touchdowns. First and 10, Glenbard West. Pitch back to Ellinger.
Ellinger again on the carry.
Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. We'll call it no gain. 2nd and 10.
kind of stumbled on that play, Coach.
Real nice third and long play for Glenbard West, converting on the pass to Svengros. Plants brings him to the line, gets the snap, second back through the hole. Svengros. Svengros gets loose across the 25 to down to the 20-yard line, where he's finally brought down by Mark Hine from his strong safety spot. Mark Hine, also the defensive captain for the York Dukes. Brings up a third down play. We'll call it 3rd and 3. Glenbard West, ball sitting squarely on the 20. Wind right at the back of Scott Plants and the Hilltoppers of Glenbard West in this opening quarter. 7 minutes, 53 seconds, clock rolling. Flags on the play.
I think it was them.
Sure looked like it.
With the dead ball foul, encroachment, offense.
Encroachment penalty called on the Glenbard West offense.
Wait, hold it. What do you got? You got the thing out. Defense.
It's on the defense. That's what I would have thought.
Defense. First down.
I was wondering about the change my call myself. Moves the ball to the 15 and sets up a 1st and 10 at the 15 for Glenbard West. Strength of an encroachment penalty against York High School. Plants and company near hash mark, in motion. Plants keeps the ball up the middle. In motion on that play was number 82, Paul Palicki.
Scott Plans and the keeper, brought down by Kevin Brophy.
Brophy with the tackle for York. Moves the ball from the 15 to just inside the 11-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of 4, 2nd down, 6 for Glenbard West. Pat Doyle in the slot, near side. Pitch back to Ellinger. Ellinger lowers his shoulder, gets across the 10-yard line to about the 8.
With the ball.
They need to reach the 5-yard line for a first down. Be about a 3rd and 3 for Glenbard West. Remember, they were 3rd and 6, maybe 7 yards the last time they were in a 3rd down situation. Doyle out of the game.
Now they got a strong.
Spread the offensive wing. Plants keeps the ball, has the first down. It'll be 1st and goal, Glenbard West with the ball inside the 5 at the 3 of York High School.
For their first down.
1st and goal, Glenbard West.
For the hitters from the 4-yard line.
They finally spot the ball at the 4, so we'll call it 1st and goal from the 4. Again, Doyle comes near side slot. Deuce backfield behind Plants. Spins, hands off. Svengros, the 2nd back through the hole with the ball. Goes over that left side of his offensive line. Out there behind Chris Larson and Eddie Faulkner. Moves the ball a yard, maybe 2, the 3-yard line. So we'll call it 1st and goal from the 3.
Watch it. Wait, chip mid, not chip left.
Plant spins. Ellinger with the ball to the 2-yard line. Maybe the 1.
Ellinger on the carry.
Over the middle of the York line. Ball sitting squarely in the middle of the field now, about the 1-yard line. Bring up 3rd and goal from the 1. A nice sustained drive, controlling the ball for quite a long period of time. The Glenbard West Hilltoppers got the ball with about 11 minutes remaining in the first quarter. We're now at the 4-minute 50-second mark for the quarter. Controlling the ball for 6+ minutes. Plants takes the snap, hands off to Svengros. Svengros across the line, touchdown, Glenbard West.
Touchdown.
So on their opening drive, Glenbard West moves the ball 50 yards for the first score of the game. A 50-yard drive aided by a nice completion from Plants to Svengros on a 3rd and long situation. And the score is 6-0, Glenbard West. Point after being attempted with Svengros, the kicker. Kick is good, and our score is 7-0. Glenbard West Hilltoppers over the Dukes of York. We'll be back with more Glenbard football right after this.
My students think I'm stubborn, over-demanding, and that's putting it politely. They know they've got to do it right or not at all. But that's why they signed up for this class.
You're the one we want to please. Cable gives the choice to you, the who, what, and when that's right for you.
Cable TV challenges me, keeps me thinking, and it lets us share a few good moments together. That's something we all deserve.
Cable's right. 'Cause cable's not just more choice, it's your choice.
We're ready to kick off now as the Glenbard West Hilltoppers have opened the scoring 7-zip at the 4-minute 42-second mark of the first quarter. Ball is in the air, comes down to Nudoff at his own 14, across the 25 to the 30, gets through a tackle there and down to the 34-yard line, 1st and 10, York. Flashberger on the tackle.
Nudoff on the return, brought down by Flashberger.
So Bill Leck and company, who were a little bit unsuccessful the first time they had the ball and had to punt after 3 downs, will try and go at it again.
We're at 63, Ray.
In motion for York was number 1, Rick Pollock. Ball was handed off to number 20, Louis Pahapos.
Pahapos on the carry, brought down by Dave Swingros.
Loss on the play. No, a pickup of 2 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 8.
That last play they had the defense line smashed.
Larson with the tackle. Nice heads up, straightened up Pahapos as he hit the line of scrimmage and didn't get much on the play. Pickup of 2. Leck will bring him out again. Nudoff in motion, spin, sets up on the play action. Nudoff, the receiver, spins out of 1 tackle across the 45 before he's buried by the Hilltoppers. Close to a first down. We'll see. We might get a measurement here. But it looks to be enough for the first down.
First down.
And they call it a first down for Glenbard, for York High School on the York 45-yard line. So the first down of the game for Bill Leck and the York Dukes. Moving a little bit better on this sequence than they did in that first offensive series. Pahapos in motion, coming near side. Hine with the ball, second back through. Comes around the side, fumble on the play. Recovered by York.
Mark Hine on the carry. The fumble was caused by Chris Bixler. Recovered by York.
And that fumble recovered by number 83 of York, and that is Scott Boyke. Boyke, one of the tight ends down there blocking after that short flare pass around the near side. So they forego the tragedy there, and Leck hands off this time. The ball carrier is Louis Pahapos.
Stopped by Tom Galati.
Clock is stopped as that's enough for a first down for York. Now they are moving inside the 45-yard line of Glenbard West. Ball at the 43. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 for York at the Winners 43-yard line.
About 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Pahapos in motion, going far side, handoff to Hine. Hine around the far side, lowers his shoulder, gets around 1-2 blocks before he's barreled down there.
Hine on the carry, stopped by Dave Swingros.
Schweingros on the tackle.
About 4 yards ago.
Ball across the 40 to the 37-yard line.
Wait a second.
Pickup of 5 yards on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 5. Newdolf with the ball through the middle of the line, actually over left tackle,
Jim Newhoff on the carry.
where he is taken down as he gets across the 35-yard line
David Georgian on the tackle.
by David Georgian. Georgian now out of the ball game. Nice tackle, open field by Georgian. There's enough to perhaps measure for the first down. We'll see the measurement now as that's a 2nd down play. Not for the first down. Now York showing the impressive offensive movement, moving right down the field. On their second possession, the clock rolls with 1:20 in the quarter. First quarter, Glenbard West on top, 7-zip. Nice 50-yard drive by Glenbard West to open the scoring in the game. Play action pass, Newdolf, the receiver, ball down to the 26-yard line.
Jim Newhoff on the carry. Stopped by Brennan and Doyle.
Doyle and Brennan on the tackle for Glenbard West as Newdolf came around and took that flare pass from Leck.
Yeah.
Whole defensive line slanted to our strong set again.
All right.
Brings up a 2nd and 2 for Glenbard West, pickup of 8 on the play. Excuse me, for York. York on the move at the Glenbard West 26. Hand off to Pahapos. Pahapos over left tackle. Svengros with the tackle. Gets the ball to about the 25-yard line. Pickup of about 1 on the play. Brings up a 3rd and 1 for York.
About a yard.
And we will have to wait until the opening moments of the second quarter to see what York does on this 3rd and 1 play, as the ball is at the 24-yard line of Glenbard West, and we'll be back with that right after this timeout.
That quarter went pretty fast. Yes, it did. 20 minutes.
Good right hand.
Henry, I think you ought to take me out tonight. I don't think there's any reason to stay at home. There's no good movie on TV, is there? Oh, you know how I like a good love story. What do you mean, wait a minute, dear? Is there a good love story or isn't there? I want to do something interesting. Henry, did you hear me? I want to see something interesting. Oh, Henry, you found a love story.
When you need programming information right now, turn to the electronic program guide. It's right on your screen.
Opening moments of the second quarter coming up with Glenbard West out on top of the Dukes of York High School out of Elmhurst. 7-zip, the score after 1, with York on the move right now. Ball at the Glenbard West 24-yard line. It's a 3rd down and 1 play for quarterback Bill Leck. Deuce backfield behind Leck is Hine and Newdolf. Penalty on the play. It looks like Glenbard West might have encroached on York High School. We'll see for the call. It looks like it. And that'll be a 1st down, York High School. Move the ball to the 19-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for York.
Defense. 1st down.
1st and 10 York. Ball at the 19. And York High School moving quite smartly in this drive. That's their 4th first down. After really stuttering and sputtering in the first offensive possession, Leck moves one of his backs around, puts that back in motion, and that'll be a motion penalty, as Rick Pollock was a little bit confused as to what he really wanted. We have a head coach that's just absolutely incensed right now. Motion penalty to bring it back to a 1st down and 24 for the Dukes of York. Rick Pollock was confused from the very time they broke the huddle on that play. Lined up in the wrong spot. Bill Leck put him into a new spot. And then just before the ball was snapped, he went into motion
We have an illegal motion. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
So that is a 5-yard mark, and that'll be a first down, 15 from the 24. So this is where they got the first down on the encroachment penalty. But now they have first down and 15 rather from that spot. In motion, Pahapos, far side, hand off to Hine, stacked up behind the line. There'll be a loss of the play of about 2 yards. As getting through there, Ron Kreck made a beautiful backfield tackle on Pahapos. Or Hine, rather, the ball carrier. Hine out of the game now. A loss again on the play, so brings up a second down, we'll call it 17 from the 27. York has to get the ball all the way inside the 10, actually to about the 9-yard line, so they've got a piece to go here. Leck drops back to pass. He's going to get nailed before he gets the pass off. A fumble on the play, and a ball recovered at the 40-yard line by the Glenbard West Hilltoppers. Jensen came just kamikaze all over Bill Leck. And Leck coughed up the ball.
Flag.
We have a flag on the play.
But it's on them, I think.
We have a holding offense.
Holding on York High School. That will be declined, of course, by the Hilltoppers of Glenbard West. They pick up the ball first and 10 at the 39-yard line.
We hit those guys so hard. They don't have a line.
And a drive that looked like it was going somewhere for York ended up going nowhere. Went into reverse on the penalties. After they had a first and 10 at the 19, they moved that to first and 25 before they coughed up the ball on the attempted pass. First and 10 at 39, Scott Plants and the Hilltoppers. Plants drops, backs the pass, pass the ball, hit just as he gets the ball away. Intended receiver is number 88, Chad Alcorn.
Incomplete, intended for Chad Alcorn.
That ball short because of the hit that Plants took just as he was getting the ball out of his hand. No gain, first play of the series, so it'll bring up second down, 10 yards to go for Glenbard West. Against West Suburban Conference foe today, York High School from Elmhurst. Both teams entering the conference season, or entering this phase of the conference season at 1-0, both having won their first conference games last weekend. Plants drops back to pass, sets up once. Now he'll keep the ball and bring it around the corner. Forced out of bounds by the York bench across the 40 at about the 42-yard line. We'll make it the 41. So a pickup of 2 on the play. It'll bring up third down and 8 to go for Glenbard West. Plants is not afraid to run with it. Plants has rushed 22 times so far this season for a total of 117 yards. That's a 5.3 average per carry for Scott Plants out of the quarterback spot. Third down, 8 yards to go, long 8 for the Hilltoppers. Plants back to pass, under pressure, comes out of the pocket, tucks the ball, across the 45, to the 50, to the 45, where he's met by Fisher and forced out of bounds. Penalty on York's Fisher. Unnecessary roughness will move the ball forward even more than the run of Scotty Plants. That unnecessary roughness call.
Defense from the out-of-bounds spot.
That will move the ball first and 10 at the 30-yard line. Not a smart play by Greg Fisher, letting the emotion perhaps of the moment getting to him. As Plants ran out of the pocket, saw nobody open, tucked the ball, and came on down. So it's first and 10 at the 30 for Glenbard West. On the move once again, second offensive possession. Handoff over the right guard spot is Sven Gross.
And the carry.
Picks up a couple on the play. Moves the ball to the just inside the 28-yard line. So we'll call it a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 on the play. Brings up a 2nd down 8 for Glenbard West. Already leading in the contest, 7-zip, with 9 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the first half. First quarter going by very quickly, and the second quarter doing the same. Stand-up pass by Plants. Ball tipped in the air and intercepted by Mark Hine. Nudoff, rather, with the interception. Stops the drive of Glenbard West. Plants took the snap, faked the handoff with the play action, then just straightened up, tried to get the pass over the line, an outstretched lineman's hand tapped the ball in the air, and Nudoff made the interception. That's the 3rd interception on the year for Scott Plants. Ball possession changes over to York High School. Ball at their own 22-yard line, 1st and 10. Hine in motion. Leck with the snap, sets up to pass. Hine, the receiver, and he's down at the 25-yard line. Short gain on a play of 3, call it 2nd and 7.
You can hear me. All right. Both your phones, those phones are coming loose down there with the connections at the box. That's what the problem is.
Missed the pass card.
It's an unfortunate turn of circumstances for the Glenbard West Hilltoppers, moving quite smartly, especially on the strength of a 15-yard personal foul. Moving the ball 1st and 10 at the 30 to give it up at their own, at the York, 22-yard line. Nudoff in motion. Handoff is to Hine. Hine around the near side. Takes the ball upfield across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A smart gain for a 1st down for York High School. 1st and 10, ball at the 36. 1st and 10 at the 36.
Come back.
And Leck will move him out again. Single back this time. That's Pollock again. Leck passes Nudoff, the reception at the 50, across the 50 into Glenbard West territory. Ball at the 48-yard line for another 1st down for York High School.
Taken out of bounds by Dan Brennan.
And as we said in the opening moments of the game,
This is easier to film.
Bill Leck has been very much favoring Nudoff as the receiver. Nudoff sometimes comes up into the slot, sometimes out of the backfield. Nudoff, though, on the receptions or on the pass plays is never in motion. Timeout called York High School as there's some confusion as to the play they want here in this situation. Timeout on the field, 7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Glenbard West on top, 7-zip. We'll be back right after this.
Glenbard West Boosters.
Sports Vision's got the White Sox, the Hawks, the Bulls, and the Sting. And now the best ticket in town has a new low price. Sports Vision's got live exclusive games both on the road and at home. Games you can't see anywhere else. Don't miss any of the action of your favorite teams. Sign up today. Sports Vision, the best ticket in town.
Taking a look at the cheerleaders from Glenbard West while we have this timeout on the field. West on top, 7-0. As they scored on their first offensive possession. Second time with the ball, however, wasn't quite as fruitful, as there was an interception of a tip pass by Scott Plants with Jim Nudoff, the fullback and linebacker for York High School, getting the interception. And now, after a timeout by York High School.
On the York side, is there anybody up in the press box that can look into that?
We're having a problem with the headsets.
We do not have phones on the York side. Glenbard must remove their phones.
No phones. They don't have phones on the York side.
So there was a loss of the telecommunications between the press box and the York High School sideline. So both teams will have to operate without the headsets until they can get that repaired, sometime perhaps during the half. In motion is Pollock coming near side. Handoff to Nudoff. Nudoff around near side. Breaks a play. He's got one man to beat. And finally, a beautiful tackle in the open field by John McDonald.
Eric Jensen running
Eric Jensen
bringing him down.
And Jensen just really picking up ground to tackle Nudoff, but not until he got to the 20-yard line for a first down, 1st and 10 for York at the 20 of Glenbard West. Nudoff popped through the line, broke a couple of tackles, and just kept on coming. Nudoff in motion this time. Handoff is to Pahapos. And Pahapos brings the ball across the 20 to the 17-yard line. It'll be a second down. We'll call it 7 to go for York High School. 2nd and 7. Ball now moved inside the 20. Fisher out of the game for York.
No, there's the guy again. The guy that has the...
Bill Leck brings him up to the line for York. Pahapos in motion this time. Hands off. Nudoff loses the handle on the ball. Scramble for the ball.
I hope he got it.
And it looks like York picks up the ball on the fumble. Nudoff perhaps picking up his own fumble. No gain on the play, however, so it keeps the ball 7 yards to first down territory. 3rd and 7 to go for the Dukes of York High School. Nudoff just never had possession of the ball as he caught the handoff from Leck. Bounced around, and finally hit the ground, and he fell on it there. Mark Hine, the lone running back behind quarterback Bill Leck. Leck drops back to pass, straight up action. Passes to Nudoff. Nudoff gets the touchdown for York High School. And it brings it to a 1-point deficit for York, 7-6 with 5 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the first half. A tight contest right now, basically what we expected from these two West Suburban Conference foes.
Oh, okay, well, we got a jumper in there.
Great block on Jensen.
Into attempt the extra point is Todd Johnson, the kicker for York High School. Holder is Leck. Kick is up, and it is good.
All right.
7 up. Our score is tied. 5 minutes, 55 seconds remaining here in the first half, and we'll be back with more second quarter action right after this.
Hi, I'm Keith Moreland, outfielder for the Chicago Cubs. Sometimes our team wins, sometimes we lose, but it always feels better to win. But there's a team that you can join that always wins. The United Blood Services team of volunteer blood donors, a team that saves lives. To join, all you have to do is give a unit of blood. So do the right thing, give blood. Do it the right way. Join the United Blood Services team of winners. Call them at 751-1701. Thank you.
The score is tied 7 up here as at Duchamp Field this afternoon. We have a home conference opener for the Glenbard West Hilltoppers against the Dukes of York High School. And York just moving about 80 yards on the drive for the touchdown by Nudoff. On the pass from Leck to make the score tied at 7 with the extra point by Johnson. Kickoff now coming as Johnson will kick off to a trio of Glenbard West backs. And we're getting back to action. Johnson advances on the ball. It's airborne. Comes down to Pat Doyle. Doyle across the 25 to the 27-yard line. 1st and 10, Glenbard West.
Doyle on the return. With 1st and 10 for the Hitters.
17-10 Nebraska.
Second quarter.
From their own 27-yard line.
Nebraska, Illinois.
Second quarter score, Nebraska 17, Illinois 10.
Scott Plants joins the Glenbard West huddle now to call the signals for this third offensive series for Glenbard. They're now tied with the Dukes of York. Double back, pitch back to Ellinger. Ellinger met just across the line of scrimmage. Maybe a pickup of 1 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 9. Give him 2 on the play. Call it 2 and 8. Ellinger on the season with 48 rushes for a total of 250 yards, a 5.2 average, and a touchdown to his credit so far. Deuce backfield behind Plants. Single slot. Ball comes near side. Across the line of scrimmage is Svengros. Pickup of maybe 2 yards on the play again. Brings up a 3rd down. We'll call it 6 yards to go for a 1st down. 3rd and 6. With 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the half. John Nordmeyer, a tight end, comes out of the game for Glenbard West. Again, the deuce for Glenbard West as Plants brings him to the line. Moderate rollout, sets up the pass, gets the ball across to the 34-yard line to Svengros. Tackled by Nudoff. And that'll bring up 4th down and long 3 for the 1st down. And I would anticipate that we would see a punt coming from Glenbard West, and we do, as we see Scott Plants drop back in a deep punt formation. And back to receive the punt for York High School is Greg Fisher. Fair catch called for at the 36-yard line by Greg Fisher, where York High School will go into the offense 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line, we'll call it now.
36-yard line.
Score tied here in the closing moments of the 1st half. West Suburban Conference action. 2 old rivals, York High School and Glenbard West.
All right, Terry, you can hear me. Raise your hand. All right, now listen.
Glenbard West entering the contest today is the 5th ranked team in the Class 5A poll this past week. Jump pass there from Leck to Nudoff again, and again that is the combination that continues to work the best for York High School.
And Dan Brennan.
Svengros on the tackle, playing both ends of it here.
No, he can't. Oh, now he can hear. Now he can.
Brings up a 2nd down play. Pick up a 3 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 7 for York High School. We were commenting before the game that Bill Leck looks a bit like Jim McMahon from the Chicago Bears. Wears the headband, has the head shaved, kind of looks like he's wearing the flak jacket. Has himself an idol. Penalty flag on the play. Looks like we'll have a hold against York High School. As Mark Hine was the ball carrier, came near side over the guard tackle hole. And penalty on the play, holding against York High School. That'll move him back. That was a 2nd down play, a 2nd and 6 play. I'm sure that the Hilltoppers will take this penalty, give them 2nd and quite a long distance to go. Ball moves all the way back inside to the 30-yard line.
Offensive holding, 10-yard penalty.
So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 17 to go. 2 and 17 for York High School. So York High School on a delay handoff to Nudoff up the middle.
Nudoff on the carry.
Nudoff brought down by number 42, Chris Bixler, a 6 foot, 170-pound senior.
We're trying to talk to him and he can't hear us.
And moves the ball, the Nudoff delayed handoff across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Brings up 3rd down. We'll call it 8 yards to go for a 1st down. Under 2 minutes for the half. Nudoff in motion, far side to the top of your screen. Leck back to pass. Newdoff open in the pattern. Off, no, it was Fisher in the pattern. Got in front of the cornerback there. Ball went off of his hands, close to an interception for Glenbard West. We have a flag on the play, however. That was a 3rd and 8 play for Glenbard, for York High School, rather.
Clipping Glenbard.
We have a clip called against the Hilltoppers. Moves the ball all the way down, and enough for the first down. So after having him in the hole, a 3rd and long situation, Glenbard West gets the unfortunate clipping penalty and gives a first down with 1 minute 47 seconds remaining here in the half to York, moving the ball closer to Glenbard West territory. The ball now spotted at the 47-yard line of York. 1st and 10.
All right, we have the headphones working on the York side.
And now the telecommunications to the York side have been remedied, and both teams can go back to the state of the art as far as football is concerned. Newdoff in motion, comes down toward the bottom of your screen. Fumble on the play, Pahapos. And I'll tell you, it looked like Pahapos was in motion before the snap. But he fumbled, lost about a half a yard on the play. We'll call it 2nd down, 11. Good helmet hit in there by one of the linemen, down linemen from Glenbard West. Popped that ball loose as Pahapos hit the line of scrimmage.
Looks like that fumble was caused by Pat Doyle.
Leck, quick count, rolls out, far side, down the field, ball goes to Fisher. Nice catch by Fisher at the 20-yard line.
Next pass complete to Greg Fisher.
Sets up a 1st and 10.
Down by Pat Doyle. The 1st and 10
at the 18
from the Hitters
for York High School.
Line.
Threatening to score in the closing moments of the first half here in our contest today.
Timeout. York.
And timeout has been called by York High School. We'll call timeout as you're watching Glenbard football, Group W. We'll be back after this.
If you follow baseball, you probably know that I play shortstop for the Chicago Cubs. What you probably don't know is that I've begun pitching for another professional team. The other team is the American Red Cross. Donating blood has always made me feel like a winner, because I know that my blood is helping others win the game that really matters, life. It's your turn to bat. Give the gift of life. Call the American Red Cross.
Just before we left you, Greg Fisher picked up a pass from Bill Leck, moving the ball from all the way in York territory, all the way down to the 18-yard line, setting up a 1st and 10 deep in Glenbard West territory in the closing moments here of the first half. With 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining, York threatening to score again. Score is tied right now, 7-7, York and Glenbard West. Defensive coordinator for Glenbard West is working with his ball club on the side of the field, as the head coach is from York. The timeout has now been completed. We'll move back to action. 1st and 10, ball at the 18-yard line for York High School. And the big defensive play is needed by Glenbard West right now. They did it once before with the fumble recovery. Motion shown by Glenbard West. Hine looks like he's going to try the option pass. He passes into the end zone. Tipped out of the reach of the intended receiver is Bill King. The tip was made by number 22, Andy Durant. Nice play by Durant in the defensive backfield. We have a flag down on the play. It's against York High School. Illegal forward pass as he passed across the line of scrimmage. That will be a loss of down and loss of play. It'll be a 2nd and 10 at the 18 for York High School.
Way down here? I thought it was an illegal man downfield.
We have an illegal pass beyond the line of scrimmage. It'll be penalized from where the ball was thrown. 5 yards and loss of a down.
So not only does he lose the down, but he also loses 5 yards. And they'll set up a 1st down 15 for York High School. 2nd down, 15 to go. Ball moves back now. Back across the 20 to about the 22-yard line for York High School. Clock under a minute at 55 seconds. Leck takes the snap, drops back. He's being zeroed in on, out of the grass once, but not the second time. A loss all the way back to the 44-yard line. As in on the tackle was number 88, Chad Elkhorn.
And Chad Elkhorn breaking through and causing that confusion.
What a play by the Glenbard West defense. When they had to do it, their back was against the wall and popped the big one again. It'll bring up a 3rd down play. Ball all the way across the 40 at the 41-yard line. They have to go all the way to the 8-yard line for a 1st down. Big distance. 3rd down in Kentucky for York High School. Leck back to pass, sets up, wings the ball downfield. Nobody there for it. The intended receiver was Fisher. And on the coverage, number 24, Pat Doyle. Brings up 4th down play for York High School with 11 seconds remaining, stopping the clock with the incomplete pass.
Oh, yeah. No question about it.
They'll give them time to get back to the huddle before they start cranking the 25-second clock. Fisher now rejoining the York teammates here at the 50-yard line.
I think it has to get down the last minute, especially if it's close.
Leck rather just really aired the ball out that time. And we'll see it again. This is 4 down territory at this stage in the half. Leck drops back to pass, rifles it down the field. Fisher again, the intended receiver, this time through his hands. That's a 4th down play, so it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Glenbard West Hilltoppers. The ball at the 41-yard line. 7 seconds remaining, and I would expect we'd see Plants fall on the ball to run out the half. No time to do anything foolish in a tie ball game. Not enough time to get anything going, really. Of course, I don't know, in the opening game of the season against Addison Trail, head coach Jim Covert pulled something out of his trick bag on a long situation of 3rd or 4th and 16 or something like that that went for a touchdown. So you never know. 7 seconds remaining. Scott Plants brings him to the line, pitches back with the ball. Ellinger dancing around the near side, 45, 50. Time runs out as he's forced out of bounds. And that is the end of our first half of play with the Glenbard West Hilltoppers on a tie score with the Dukes of York High School, 7-7. It's the half, and we'll be back with second half action after this on Group W's coverage of Glenbard football. Today, the Glenbard West Hilltoppers, the York Dukes from Dushan Field in Glen Ellen.
Summertime, outdoor time, where nature's hazards go hand in hand with hot weather. Pollens from grass, trees, and ragweed, irritating and almost invisible mold spores, air stagnation and its pollutants. Summertime weather impacts your health. The Weather Channel helps you survive in comfort with weather and your health. Plus, every hour, a heat stress index, humidity, and wind reports. Protect yourself with vital information this summer. Consult the weather and your health on the Weather Channel.
In a month of MTV, you get video music, music news, guest DJ, sneak preview video, basement tapes, MTV Extra, closet classics, video music, Friday night video fights, rock influence, liner notes, the top 20 video countdown, London Calling, the Saturday concert, IRS is the cutting edge, contest, the world premiere of sneak preview video, the Sunday special, video music, MTV. All month long, we're on 24 hours a day.
Thank Thanks to Nickelodeon, America's one and only cable channel for kids, a curious phenomenon has swept the country.
Nick Mania! I'm an action Nick. I'm a laugh Nick.
You can watch terrific programs on Nickelodeon all day, every day. Check your cable listings for time and channel.
Nick Mania! On Nickelodeon!
Excuse me, if you're tired of the same old video music shows, turn to Night Flight, the most creative video music show on television. Only Night Flight gives you commercial-free video countdowns, plus cult films, vintage videos, heavy metal heroes, video art, superstars, and rising stars. See your television come alive with Night Flight every weekend on USA. More than just music television. At 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, Friday and Saturday nights.
Just a bit before the start of the third quarter and the second half of action in today's contest here as Group W covers Glenbard football on
Scott Ellinger, Pat Doyle, and Art
Saturday here, where it's a little bit on the overcast side. We had some sprinkles of rain as the game started, but those have dissipated now, but it still remains overcast, temperature in about the mid-60s. Score is tied at half, 7-7. York High School holding a slight edge in the offensive stats here at the end of the first half. About 120 yards to 70 yards, 70, 80 yards or so for Glenbard West. So what we have is a tight West Suburban Conference matchup. Glenbard West gets the ball to start the second half. And kicking off is Johnson, Todd Johnson for York High School. Ball comes downfield to Patty Doyle. Pat Doyle with the ball across the 15, across the 20, hurdles at the 25 and dives to the 30. First and 10, Glenbard West at the 30-yard line. And again, we'll expect the offense of Glenbard West of Alcorn, Gilardi, Jensen, Howe, Larson, and Balkner up front, along with Nordmeyer, and a backfield and flanker positions of Plants, Ellinger, Svengros, and Doyle. Plants brings them out to start the second half. Deuce backfield, hand off to Svengros over right tackle. Ball across the 30-yard line to the 34. And as pick up a 4, call it 2nd and 6 for Glenbard West. Basically one of those knockdown dragouts in the West Suburban. Doyle off the field for Glenbard West. And into the lineup, number 41, that's Jay Stefani at the slot. Pitch back to Ellinger. Ellinger stacked up by Pahapos at the 35.
Tripped up by Ted Harris.
Pahapos on the tackle, the ball to the 35-yard line. We will call it third down, 5 yards to go. Officials call time as there is some discussion. No earphones again or telecommunications for the York High School. And now they wait a bit as they try and get it straightened out. Been a bit of an ongoing problem here through the game today as far as communications between the coaches up in the press box area and those coaches on the field. 10 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. This will be a third down and 5 play for Glenbard West. Ball at their own 35-yard line.
Can't hear you, Tom. Still can't hear you. Now I can.
So actually, once again, I guess what we'll have is a situation where both sides will be ending up flying blind as far as the overhead view of the contest is concerned. Andy Durant coming into the game for Glenbard West.
That place a year ago. In fact, we got it from girl too that they ought to get that money.
And out of the play is John Nordmeyer. So both sides lose the telecommunications. And as they get things straightened out here, and now we'll get back to action.
Clock should go, right?
Looked like movement on the part of Glenbard West, but so Sven Gross gets the ball, but he's going to be tackled for a loss on the play of 4 yards. We'll bring up a 4th down. And lots of yards for Glenbard West. We'll call it 4th down and 7 to go.
Isn't that wireless working? On that headset down there.
Plants will drop back to punt for Glenbard West. And back for York High School will be Greg Fisher. Plants' punt is in the air. And Plants is decked by Hine. Will have a roughing the punter call and a 1st down for Glenbard West. Mark Hine ran into Scott Plants and nailed him. Hine protests the call, but to no avail, as he will get called for the penalty, and it moves the ball back to Glenbard West possession. 1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers. So another mistake for Glenbard, for York High School, rather.
Don't yell at him, too. Let him throw you out of the ball game.
York's situation has been that, for the most part, the penalties have been very damaging to them in today's contest. They had this is their 2nd personal foul, and it'll be a 1st down for Glenbard West at the 47-yard line. And Scott Plants brings them to the line. So roughing the kicker penalty sets up Glenbard West. Handoff to Ellinger, 2nd back through the hole. Gets to the midfield stripe, brings up a 2nd down play. Pickup of 3 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 7 for Glenbard West. Ball sitting just nosing the 50-yard line. Durant into the game, replacing Doyle at that slot position. Durant goes to the top of your screen in that wingback slot. Twin backs. Durant comes in motion towards you, near side. Plants back to pass. Plants it. Durant, the intended receiver, passes short on the coverage. Number 21, Ted Harris.
Pass intended for Andy Durant.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 7 from the 50. Tom Gillardi comes off the field. Durant back into the game. Doyle at another flanker position, so twin flankers for Glenbard West. Handoff to the 1st back through the hole is Sven Gross. And Sven Gross was nailed as he reached the line of scrimmage, actually lost the yard. It'll bring up 4th down and 8, almost 9 yards to go for a 1st down for Glenbard West. As that play that looked like it was designed to go right over the center guard hole left side just did not materialize properly. And a heads-up play by York High School. Plants back to pass punt again. Gets the punt off. Newdoff with the pressure. Fisher takes the ball at the 15-yard line, signaling for a fair catch, and that's where York goes into action. 1st and 10 at their own 15. 8 minutes, 39 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter of action. 2nd half of our contest for you today on Group W. Glenbard football, the Hilltoppers of West against the Dukes of York from Elmhurst.
Oh, you got them both here? Yeah.
Quarterback Bill Leck will bring them to the line. Play action pass, Leck to Nudoff. Short gain, pickup of a couple, we'll call it 2nd and 8.
Hello. Here it works fine.
And the ball moves to the 19-yard line. So a pickup of 4 on the play, we'll call it 2nd and 6 then.
Yeah, the antenna's got to be fully extended.
We had it fully extended underneath. Let's walk across.
Just keep walking and talking. See how far you get.
Like it down.
Lex brings him out again. In motion is Nudoff. Hand off to
Hine on the carry.
Hine. Tackle by Dan Brennan.
Dan Brennan on the tackle.
Brings up 3rd down. Third and short. We'll call it a yard. 3rd and 1. York High School. Ball at the 25-yard line. Leck looks it over, takes the snap, hands off to Hine again, and Hine has enough for the 1st down. It'll be 1st down and 10.
Hine on the carry. Stopped by Dave Schwengros.
Schwengros on the tackle for Glenbard West. 1st and 10. Ball across the 25 at about the 26-yard line. Nudoff in motion. Set up by Leck. Gets the ball off as he's hit to Nudoff. And we have 3 men there to nail and Nudoff as he gets the ball across the 30-yard line to the 33-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down, we'll call it 4. A pickup of 6 on the play. 2nd and 4 for York High School. Leck hands off. Fumble on the play. Picked up by number 21, Danny Brennan. And Glenbard West gets in real good position. As field position in the exchange goes over to Glenbard West with the ball at the 28-yard line.
Causing the fumble.
Gilardi caused the fumble. Brennan recovered it. And Plants and Company in fine position now with 6 minutes and counting in the 3rd quarter to perhaps do something about this knotted 7-7 score in our contest. Twin backs Ellinger and Svengros behind Plants. In the slot, it's Doyle. Hand off to Ellinger. Lowers his head, gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard. And that'll be about it. We'll call it a yard. 2nd down 9 for West. Ellinger had about 18 yards of offense in the 1st half. And Ellinger has been one of those mainstays as far as the rushing game with 250 yards on the season. He got shut down pretty well in that 1st half. In motion is Stefani. Handoff, no, a keeper by Plants. Moves the ball to the 15 and a 1st down. So Plants, as we said in the 1st half, not afraid to carry the ball. On the season, it had coming in 22 rushes for 117 yards and a 5.3 average. And continues pretty much along that route here in the 2nd half of play with the keeper for the 1st down at the 15. Svengros with the ball across the 15 to the 14. Pickup of 1, 2nd and 9, Glenbard West.
Yeah, he can hear it fine, but you can't hear over here. Matsumoto, Rich Matsumoto.
You got a little short legs.
Yeah, I like to see him play.
Motion is Stefani. Drop back, play action by Plants. He's nailed at the 25-yard line by linebacker Jim Nudoff, who broke through the line.
Scott Plants brought down behind the line by Jim Nudoff.
Loss on the play all the way back to the 25-yard line. Loss of 11 on the play. So we move from a 2nd and 9 to a 3rd and 20 for Glenbard West. Plants dropped the pass. Loses the ball. Regains the ball at the 35-yard line. The ball was tipped out of his hand as he was getting set to pass by Rob Martucci. Plants fell on the ball, heads up play to recover it, but that brings up a 4th down play. And the ball now all the way back to the 35-yard line. First down is at the 5. So 4th down, we'll call it 30 yards to go. And Coach Covert wants to go for it. Durant in the pattern. Plant sets up the pass. Too short. Intended receiver there was number 88. That is Chad Alcorn, the tight end on the left side, coming on a crossing pattern. Ball was just underthrown, and the ball goes over now at the 34-yard line to York High School. 1st and 10 with 2 minutes 50 seconds in a knotted contest. 3rd quarter action, 7-7, York and Glenbard West. Bill Leck brings him out for York. Fakes the handoff to Hine. Pass intended for Nudoff. Overthrown. First down played, no gain. 2nd down, 10.
There's batteries, Mark, like in that stubby hole there, if you need them. Hey, Mark.
2nd down play for Bill Leck in York High School. Glenbard West moves them all up to the line of action. Nudoff with the quick release across the line, underthrown by Leck. As pressure was coming from Dave Svengros from a linebacker's spot. Stops the clock with 2:42 in the 3rd quarter. Defense now on a 3rd down and 10 situation. Looks to hold York in check here. Leck drops back to pass, and he's going to be thrown for a loss back at the 26-yard line. And we see back there David Howe along with Eric Jensen and Svengros again back to make the tackle. Also back there, looks like just about everybody came. Brings up 4th down and, we'll call it 20 yards plus for York High School for a 1st down. They'll punt. Punter is Rick Weinstock. Weinstock gets the kick off. A floater comes down to the 44-yard line. Doyle with the ball across the 50 to diving to the 45 to the 44. 1st and 10. Glenbard West, and we have an injured York player on the field. Just across the 50-yard line. Looks to be number 36 linebacker Paul Burbelis, injured on the play. Went down as Doyle hurdled and was diving to the 45-yard line. So a nice run back of the punt by Pat Doyle. And Pat Doyle has been operating fairly well on the offense for Glenbard West. Doyle with 12 points scored on this season on the strength of 2 touchdowns. The leading scorer for Glenbard West is David Svengros with 15 points total on 2 touchdowns and also 3 extra points.
Glenbard West boosters are invited, and those who would like to become boosters.
Scotty Plants has
sign
himself
up at the Booster Fall Social.
Has himself 4 completions for touchdowns so far on the season. Berbelis is back up. Looks like he's ready to go. He's ready, and he's got to come out of the game, I think, because of that. Otherwise, they'd be assessed a timeout. Plants has 7 carries for 16 yards on the season, on the day. Svengros 10 for 20 yards, and Ellinger 8 carries for only 19 yards. So that's a little bit indicative of what York has been able to do to this running offense of Glenbard West. Plants and company from the 45. Plants sets up the pass, gets it off. It's going to be a floater. Hine with the interception, and he's tackled after the interception by Paul Palicki. Ball comes down in the possession of Mark Hine at the 20. What happened there is Plants got hit just as he let the ball go, and he ended up with a bit of a floater. And Mark Hine just kind of playing the safety spot there.
On 21-yard line.
Was able to pick the ball off. Clock rolls, 1:40 seconds remaining. Third quarter action, score tied at 7. York and Glenbard West here at Dushan Field in Glen Ellen on a cloudy, somewhat nippy late summer, early fall kind of day in September. York back to the O. In motion is Pollock. Pollock in motion comes near side. Handoff is to Nudoff, where he's tackled by Ron Kreck at the 20-yard line for no gain, perhaps a loss of about a half yard. So we'll call it 2nd down and 11 to go for York High School. For the most part, the Glenbard West defense being really tough when it has to be. They were getting pushed back in the late stages of the first half and were able to stifle the drive by the York Dukes. Officials timeout. Stops the clock at 45. He rolls it again. And we move under 40 seconds for the quarter. York with a 2nd and 11. From the 20-yard line, maybe 19. Pollock in motion again. Pollock seems awfully confused off there. Hunted off to Nudoff. Nudoff tackled as he crosses the 25 and nears the 26-yard line. Jensen with the tackle. That'll bring up a 3rd down situation. Nudoff picking up about 5 on the play, so we'll call it 3rd and 5.
To get the scoreboard.
And time expires in the 3rd quarter. We have 1 quarter of action remaining in our contest today. As we're bringing you Glenbard football here on Group W, and we'll return with that 4th and final quarter in a tied 7-7 game right after this.
Excuse me, do you have cable?
Sure, Group W cable.
We love movies.
And Group W cable has the movies we love. You should take a look.
Hey, don't touch that dial. Sit down and watch this commercial. In September, HBO is your ticket to movies like The Terminator, Teachers with Nick Nolte, Tightrope with Clint Eastwood, and The Wildlife. Get it all Super Fall on HBO.
Group W cable. It's all kinds of programs for all kinds of people.
Like us. And you.
Just about time to start the 4th and final quarter of our game today. Tied score at 7. All the scoring action coming in the first half, with Glenbard West scoring a touchdown in the late stages of the first quarter, and about midway through the 2nd quarter, York High School scoring their touchdown, an extra point. And that's where we stand. 12 minutes on the scoreboard clock here at Dushan Field, and that's where we're at. 12 minutes of football action. Of course, barring any tie at the end of regulation. Bill Leck and the York Dukes on the field on the offense with a 3rd and 4 facing them. Leck being pursued, and he's going to be thrown for a loss. Beautiful play by Tom Ghilardi.
And Ghilardi is actually showing why he is wearing a silver helmet this week.
And Ghilardi doing a heck of a job busting through there and getting Leck, who is a basically very mobile quarterback, in his grasp and throwing him for a loss all the way back at the 12-yard line. Brings up a 4th and substantial yardage play for York High School. And if you notice, Ghilardi playing with one of those silver helmets, the symbol of a 100%er here at Glenbard West. Back to punt for York is Mike Larson. Gets the short punt off. It's coming out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. No, inside the 30, no, at the 35. 1st and 10 York, 1st and 10 Glenbard West at the York 35.
The 1st and 10 for the winners from the Dukes 35-yard line.
It's put up or shut up time for Glenbard West. They got to do something with the ball this time. Clock rolling with the snap of the ball. It starts at 11:07, and the stands are alive as the Glenbard West hitters move to the offense behind Scotty Plants. Ellinger and Svengros, the halfback and fullback. Ellinger with the ball over right tackle.
Scott Ellinger on the carry.
Across the 35 to the 33, a pickup of 2, 2nd and 8 for Glenbard West.
Okay, it's really good. I think. You know, we're not loosening them up at all with the pass. Barnes hasn't done anything with the pass today.
Durant into the game, replacing number 82, Paul Palicki. Flankers are Durant and Doyle. Handoff to Svengros. Svengros to the 30. Brought down there by number 99. Defensive tackle Kevin Brophy of York High School. Ball sitting squarely at the 30. Brings up a 3rd down play. We'll call it 3rd down 4, Glenbard West.
Get out, Mark. Go right through where you guys brought out the band.
Same alignment again for Glenbard West this time. Handoff again, this time to Ellinger. Ellinger breaks a tackle, gets across the 20, near the 15. We'll call it the 16-yard line. 1st down, Glenbard West.
For the 1st down.
So Ellinger is showing some of that stuff that he is made of and what he has been known for in the first 3 games of the season. And Glenbard West on the roll with 9 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the contest. They're knocking at the door of York High School. Plants has got him set. Hands off, fakes the handoff, play action. Plants keeps the ball. Gets inside. Mark Hine only for a yard or 2 on the play.
Got Plants on the carry.
So Scotty Plants, again, not afraid to carry the ball and call his own number. And a pickup of about 3 yards on the play, maybe 4. Actually, about 4 yards, so we'll call it 2nd and 6. So a nice pickup by Scott Plants on that 1st down play. Ball at the 13-yard line. Plants again calls his own number. Keeps the ball across the 10-yard line to the 8.
Plants again on the carry. Stopped at the 8-yard line.
Dudoff on the tackle for York High School. Stopped at the 8-yard line. Brings up a 3rd down and a 1-yard play for Glenbard West. Off the field is Andy Durant. And the West Hilltopper fans exhorting their Hilltoppers to go on this 3rd down play. 3rd and 1. Plants again calls his own number across to the 5-yard line, and it is a 1st down, Glenbard West. And now they're really knocking at the door with 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the contest. It's a 1st and goal at the 5. You think these fans are excited? Oh, yeah. And a score here will throw this place into pandemonium, I guarantee you. Or as Justin Wilson would say, I guarantee. Plants pulls out of the snap, keeps the ball himself. He's brought down by number 53 of York. That is Tom Homan, defensive tackle, loss on the play, back to the 8-yard line. A loss of 3, bring up a second goal and 8. Second and goal from the 8. Into the lineup is Paul Palicki, bringing the play in, replacing Andy Durant. Plants looks it over. He has a second and goal. Pitches back to Svengros. Svengros caught in the backfield. That play made by Louis Pahapos and Louis Bastien. So Lou and Lou tie up on the play for the tackle. And again, another loss back to the 10-yard line, a loss of 2. So it's now first and goal, a third and goal from the 10-yard line. Clock is rolling as these running plays really take the time off at 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Plants now pitches. Ellinger with the ball across the 10 to the 9. Brings up 4th down, goal to go from the 9. And we will see a field goal attempt by Glenbard West to break this score of 7-7. The kicker is Dave Svengros.
All right, Dave Svengros attempting the field goal.
This will be an attempt of 25 yards for Svengros. The placement is down, the ball is up, and it is good. Glenbard West goes on top, 10-7, with 5 minutes and 58 seconds remaining. We'll be back with the closing moments right after this.
25-yard field goal makes the score the winner.
Good right hand.
Henry, I think you ought to take me out tonight. I don't think there's any reason to stay at home. There's no good movie on TV, is there? Oh, you know how I like a good love story. What do you mean, wait a minute, dear? Is there a good love story or isn't there? I want to do something interesting. Henry, did you hear me? I want to see something interesting. Oh, Henry, you found a love story.
When you need programming information right now, turn to the electronic program guide. It's right on your screen.
And the strains of the Glenbard West fight song in the background as Glenbard West scores on a 25-yard field goal by Paul Svengros to break the 7-7 tie and move Glenbard West out on top 10-7 with 5 minutes 58 seconds remaining in the contest. And the ball goes in the air. Newdorf will take the ball at the 5, moves it back upfield across the 10, stopped at the 10, at the 14-yard line, make it to 13. And defense is going to play the name of the game now for Glenbard West, as Bill Leck and company will come back out on the O for York High School, trying to see if they can do something about this 3-point deficit in the 5 minutes and 52 seconds they have remaining here in the 4th quarter, with the clock rolling now. And by the time this snap comes, we'll be down near the 5-minute mark for the game. Up back is Newdorf. The back is Hine. Hine takes the ball across the 15 to about the 17-yard line.
Chad Alcorn on the tackle.
Alcorn with the tackle. Brings up a 2nd down play. We'll call it 2nd and 7 for York High School. Clock continues to roll at 5:10. Bill Leck will be looking to make the pass. Svengros slides up into the line. They might be bringing the blitz to come on down through. Now they call it off as Newdorf goes into motion. Play action pass. Svengros on the coverage and nailing Bill Leck was number 73, That is Ronnie Kreck, who's been back there a couple of times today. Kreck breaking through the line to put the pressure hit on Leck as he was releasing the ball.
Put one foot in front of the other. Who? Eric Jensen, number 65. He was tired.
Brings up a third down situation, 3rd and 7, the count remains. Ball stops the clock on that incomplete pass at 4:45. Leck looks it over. There's the snap. He's back, sets up the pass. He's pressured out of the pocket. Now pitches the ball on the run. The intended receiver is number 89, Mike Grant. No flags on the play. Incomplete pass brings up 4th down for York High School. And 7 yards to go for the first. They'll bring their punter on now. And that's number 46, Mike Larson. Last time he punted, he only got it to the 35-yard line, and that's what led to the drive successfully completed by the field goal by Glenbard West. Let's see if he doesn't do perhaps a bit worse for Glenbard fans this time around. Doyle is back along with Durant.
York will be punting from their own 16-yard line.
This punt will come from just across the 5-yard line by the time he toes it. Bad snap from center, gets the ball in the air. Again, a short punt, bounds at the 37-yard line, 36-yard line. And again, Glenbard West moves to the offense. 1st and 10, deep in York territory. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. I'd expect to see a lot of running from Glenbard West in this series. With 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, they have a chance that they could use up all 4:30 and win this contest 10-7. We know that Svengros can hit it from about 25 yards out, so if they get it that far, they have a chance for another field goal. Plant snaps, takes the snap, hands off to Ellinger. Ellinger across to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. 2nd down 3 for Glenbard West.
Perry Peacock.
Perry Peacock, cornerback, on the tackle. Ball sitting squarely on the 30-yard line.
Not a bad football player, a little bit of a hot dog.
Hard-nosed football game today between these two green and white clad ball clubs. 4 minutes and counting in the half, in the game. Glenbard West on top. Hand off to Svengros. Svengros to the 25 where he's stacked up.
Well, Svengros on the carry. I don't think he was brought down.
Lots of action on that tackle. Ball at the 25. Another pickup of a 1st down for Glenbard West. Ball at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. 3:40 and counting. West on top. 10-7. Those are all the numbers. And Plants keeps them rolling. Calls his own number this time. Moves the ball about another 4 yards. Bring up a 2nd and 6 as he moves to the 21-yard line. The quarterback keeper by Plants. And Plants is just not afraid at all to call his own number. Under 3 minutes at 2:55 and counting. The 2nd and 6 play. Handoff to Ellinger. Ellinger across the 15 to the 14-yard line. And it looks like it might be enough for a 1st down. It is a 1st down. 1st and 10. The ball at the 14-yard line for Glenbard West. And they're on the roll now. 2 minutes and 40 seconds and counting, and threatening are the Hilltoppers of West.
Anybody those soldiers feel like we haven't moved.
Ellinger, Svengros, the backs behind Plants. Handoff to Svengros. He gets across the 14-yard line to about the 12, a 2-yard pickup. We'll call it 2nd and 8. That's only a pickup of about 1, I guess, so we'll call it 2nd and 9. And we're under 2 at 1:55. Glenbard West will take their time coming out of the huddle now.
15-yard line.
And now they want him to line up and run the play. They may get a delay of game call here if they don't get it off here pretty quickly. Plants takes the snap, calls his own number, breaks through the line, no throw to goal line, touchdown Glenbard West! So Plants on the quarterback keeper, breaks through the center of the line and goes 14 yards for the TD. And our score now, 16-7. Glenbard West Hilltoppers out on top of the York Dukes. 1:31 seconds remaining in the contest. And it's time to turn off the lights for York High School. Sven Gross will try the extra point. The holder is Plants, who just scored the touchdown. Ball is down, kick is up. It is good. And a penalty called on the skirmish after. A 10-point lead now for Glenbard West. We'll be back with the exciting 1:30 conclusion right after this.
Sports Vision's got the White Sox, the Hawks, the Bulls, and the Sting. And now the best ticket in town has a new low price. Sports Vision's got live exclusive games both on the road and at home. Games you can't see anywhere else. Don't miss any of the action of your favorite teams. Sign up today. Sports Vision, the best ticket in town.
At the extra point conclusion of that scoring drive by Glenbard West, we had a personal foul called against a Glenbard West player on the extra point play. So that'll be a walk-off against Glenbard West, so they'll be kicking off from their own 25-yard line. We have 1:31 seconds remaining, a 10-point lead for Glenbard West. In that time remaining, York High School will try and get on the board. You can guarantee to see the passing game from quarterback Bill Leck for sure.
Joe Bruno kicking off.
Kicking off is Joe Bruno for Glenbard West. Set to receive in the lone safety is Nudoff. Ball is in the air. Nudoff. No, that's not Nudoff. That's number 33 back there is Chris Moran. Takes the ball across the 35 to the 39-yard line. 1st and 10, York High School. 1:25 remaining.
For the tackle.
So the Glenbard West defense got real stingy and real tough when they had to. Held York on that offensive series. Another bad punt from the York punter. Gave them the ball at the 35-yard line, and they walked it in for the touchdown with Plants scoring from 14 out. Leck back to pass, downfield, intercepted. Interception by number 21, Danny Brennan.
Dan Brennan for the interception.
Brennan with a fumble recovery today and an interception. He's wearing a gray helmet, a silver helmet for the Hilltoppers. And we have a flag on the play.
Glenbard intercepted the ball. They committed a clip, 15 yards. They will keep the ball.
Clipping penalty called against Glenbard West. Moves the ball back 15 to the 39-yard line. With 1:08 remaining, that's where West will go on the O from their own 39-yard line. Up on top, 17-7. A nice interception by Danny Brennan as he was ranging out there in the safety spot. Actually, Brennan probably rolling off a linebacker spot. Plants hands off to Scotty Ellinger. We're under a minute. Clock stops. 42 minutes, 42 seconds rather, remaining in the game. And York calls a timeout. 5-yard pickup on the play brings up 2nd and 5. The ball just outside of the 45 at the 44-yard line. Glenbard West Band, who entertained us at halftime with an excellent halftime show, along with the Topperettes, who I saw out here working at about 6:30 this morning.
Just for your information, there will be no JV game this coming Monday. There will not be a JV game this Monday.
So 42 ticks of the clock remaining in this contest. It was very undecided until the late stages, about the 5-minute mark, actually, of the 4th and final quarter. And then Glenbard West got down and did it to it with good defense, following that up with great offense and a 10-point lead. Timeout is over. Glenbard West now moves back to the offense. Dan Howe brings them out of the huddle. That offensive line has been doing a real nice job for Scotty Plants all day. Plants calls his own number across the line to the 39-second mark. Clock stops there at 37 seconds. The ball across the 45 to the 46 with 37 seconds remaining. York calls another timeout.
We have a timeout, York. Their second timeout.
That leaves them with 1 remaining. And I expect we'd see them call it after the next play. And tell you what, with timeout on the field, we'll send it back for this message, and we'll be back with the final 37 seconds in just 1 moment. Glenbard football on Group W.
We have this timeout. We'd like to remind.
My students think I'm stubborn, over-demanding, and that's putting it politely. They know they've got to do it right or not at all. But that's why they signed up for this class.
You're the one we want to please. Cable gives the choice to you, the who, what, and when that's right for you.
Cable TV challenges me, keeps me thinking, and it lets us share a few good moments together. That's something we all deserve.
Cable's right. 'Cause cable's not just more choice, it's your choice.
We lost.
37 seconds remaining in the contest. It's been a close hitting contest all afternoon. 37 seconds left. 1 timeout remaining for York High School. Plants hands off to Svengros. Svengros across to near the 50-yard line. Looks like he's got enough for the first down, as he was about 3rd and 3 on that play. And it looks like we might have to have a measurement on the first down mark. And we will. We lost 4 seconds on the clock that time around. And they'll move them all out. It does look like it's going to be very, very close for the first down. It is a first down, Glenbard West. I didn't see York High School call a timeout. They have 1 remaining if they elect to call it. And the clock rolls now with 32 seconds and counting. And that will basically be the end of our contest for this afternoon. A victory for the Hilltoppers of Glenbard West, coming out on top in this West Suburban Conference matchup of the undefeateds, both coming in at 1-0 in the conference, 3-0 overall for the season. Glenbard West has a very good chance of retaining that very well-placed positioning in the Class 5A poll also this week as the clock winds down, and that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you for joining us for coverage of Glenbard football here on Group W. My name is Scott Wager. I want to thank our crew for today. Scott Cherry, our producer-director, Danielle Dobro on camera, along with Chris Yarkis. From all of us at Group W, we thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Until then, have a good week. I'm Scott Wager saying bye-bye for now.